Alright, this is a Bob Dummy product review. I've been owning one of these Bob Dummies for over 2 years, about 2 years now, and this is my feedback after 2 years of its use. I got 3 of them, and they're not cheap. I mean, the retail price. This is the XL Bob Dummy. It comes with the full torso and the bottom part, which costs more money because it comes with the bottom part right here. And for retail, the regular price might be around $400, but you could go to certain websites and find it for a cheaper deal, right? So after 2 years of its use, my feedback on it. There's positives and negatives, just like with everything else. All right, so I'm gonna state the positives. Look at the Bob Dummy. It still lasts a very long time. It's still usable, and it didn't break down. All of them work just fine. There is one of them that had a problem. I'll show you what happened. Is the bottom right here, this piece right here, it came off on one of them, and then it was like, there was like foam coming out of it. So there's foam coming out of it, and I couldn't seal it back off. It basically kept, every time you punch it or kick it, foam would be coming out, and then it'd be all over, it'd get all over the floor, and you gotta vacuum it up, so that was pretty annoying. And I had that problem for a while. I didn't know how to seal it up. I tried to stuff like napkins in there and t-shirts, but it didn't solve the problem. And then finally, I think I solved the problem because one of my students lent me the shoe glue to glue together your shoes that get broken, and then I put the shoe glue underneath that area, and then I sealed it off, and then ever since then I think everything's fine. But that was the only problem that I really had with it. Alright, once again, we'll talk about let me talk about the positives real quick. It's just, it basically simulates another person's body and their head, and that's the primary thing that's the benefit of this. It gives you different target areas, and it gives you very specific target areas that are very practical and relevant for self-defense training. Like, it's a very good tool to use if you don't have a live training partner, because it's almost like having another human being right there, and you get to focus on certain target areas, which is very important for the martial arts and self-defense in particular, because depending on where you choose to strike the individual, it's very important. So you got all these different strike areas to deal with, and that's the primary thing that why this type of product is so revolutionary, is because it's not just a heavy bag where there's no targets. There's targets right there. Alright, so that is clearly the positive. Another thing is you can transport it, move it to one room to another because it's freestanding. That's a big positive. Another thing is you can adjust the height. You can make them taller or shorter, and it lasts long. And like I said, the target areas is very important for precision and accuracy training. Okay, so those are all some positives. Now, let me talk about the negatives. What I talked about before, it was leaking in the bottom, but that was only happened to one of them out of the 3 that I had. I don't think it's going to be a problem for everybody. It's just something that happened with one of them. Alright, another thing about it is that the punch, just like everything, there's positives and negatives. The negative about it is there's no solid punch to it. Like with a heavy bag that's 100 pounds, there's solidity there. And when you punch it, you can feel the punch, and you can feel yourself like pushing the bag back, and you can put your body into it. You can really work on power development. But this Bob right here is not really for power development. It's more for like accuracy and precision development and control development opposed to power development. Because there's really not, and that's the problem with all freestanding bags basically. There's not enough weight to it. They say that when you fill it up with water, there's 270 pounds, but still, there's not much solidity behind it, especially when you punch up to the face area. You punch up to the face area, it just flexes back. There's nothing there. There's no weight there to give you where you can feel the power of your punches. Like if you got a heavy bag or if you got a sandbag that's put against the wall, you can really feel that you can feel that resistance. And the same thing that's great with the focus mitt training is that when a person times the punch and they come right back at you with some force and you punch it, you can feel the resistance. But with the, it's kind of like this. Focus mitts is like this, and then the heavy bag is like this. But the bob dummy is more like this. And then you don't feel the resistance, and then basically you don't really get that much out of your training when it comes to like feeling the contact. And that's the main problem that I have with the bob dummy, and that's one of the main reasons, that's one of the things that I don't like about it. But like I said, the positives is the precision training, gives you accuracy and targets, areas to aim for. Okay. Now, when you punch down low, there is some resistance there. There is some resistance. Because basically, you take it off. You're basically punching at this thing. This thing is serving to be the resistance. Okay, but you see, the weight is all on the bottom, and then you're just kind of punching the top, which is not that much weight. You understand? So basically, what's going on is just it just cannot offer the benefits of a heavy bag. If you got a 100-pound heavy bag, there's really no freestanding bag that can give you the benefits of a heavy bag. Because a heavy bag is there, it's 100 pounds, and you're punching that 100-pound bag, and you can feel that resistance, and it feels good when you're punching it. But when you're punching this, you don't feel that. And that's one of the main problems that with the bob dummy. But other than that, it's a very good product.